This is my first what if, so please be nice. But I think for my first what if, it's always something I kind of thought about is Goten and Trunks actually training and being a part of the story. We get to see a little bit more of that now in the manga, but the manga's been on hiatus for a while, so we don't really know what direction they're actually going in. So I feel like I wanted to get my own little spin on if Goten and Trunks were actually training. This what if would take place right after the Buu saga, and probably not far after the defeat of Kid Buu. Goten and Trunks actually did die in the original story, so I feel like them dying and getting completely bitched by Super Buu, I feel like they would probably be a little more inclined to train, which I don't know why they didn't in the main story, but they didn't. To start, I think Trunks would probably be the first one to want to train. Just being around Vegeta all the time, and I'm sure Vegeta would probably bring up training quite a bit. I feel like he would end up training with Vegeta quite a bit, at least as much as we've seen in the anime at the very least. I feel like Goten would be a little slower to start training, just because I feel like Goku isn't pushing Goten to train as much as Vegeta would be to Trunks. But I still think Goten seeing Trunks training when hanging out with Trunks, I feel like would make him want to go train with Goku. During the 4-year time skip, I do think they would at least get Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 3, I don't think is even possible. Since we are counting Daima, Vegeta will have Super Saiyan 3 going into Battle of Gods, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku will be a thing. It ain't going to change much, but just to keep that in mind. After the time skip, one day on King Kai's planet, Goku and Goten are training when Beerus and Whis show up, looking for a Super Saiyan God. Goku obviously has no idea what that is, neither does Goten. This fight would play out almost exactly the same, besides Goku having Super Saiyan 4. Goten would actually be there as well. Would he fight? Probably not. Seeing his father get whooped, I don't think Goten will even try. Things from here on out are pretty much the exact same as in the canon. When Goten and Trunks do fuse, I think they would put up a little better fight, but they're not whooping Beerus at all, obviously. I still think Goku would be the one to get Super Saiyan God as well. Things have been relatively tame so far, but that changes right now. So after Battle of Gods, obviously Vegeta ends up going to Beerus' planet. I do think he would take Trunks. He'd probably have to bribe Beerus with more food, but I think Trunks would show up on Beerus' planet. So for roughly 6 months, Vegeta and Trunks will be on Beerus' planet training. Vegeta obviously in this time does get Super Saiyan God, and I feel like Trunks could as well, and I'm going to say that he actually does. So obviously, like in the original story, when Goku finds out Vegeta is training behind his back, he's not very happy. So, unlike in the original story, Goku actually does take Goten with him this time. While training like normal, I do think Goku and Vegeta will still have Super Saiyan Blue, but Goten and Trunks definitely won't. I just don't think they have a level of mastery over Super Saiyan like Goku and Vegeta does. Even having Super Saiyan 2, I still don't think that they can get Super Saiyan Blue quite yet. Next up is ROF. I think it starts off pretty much the exact same. There might be a few differences in between, but pretty much the exact same. Up until when Gohan powers up, and he's risking his life to get Goku a key signature so that he can teleport in. I do think, even though Vegeta and Goku would like to fight Frieza, I do think they let Goten and Trunks actually get around in. And Super Saiyan God Trunks and Goten would actually do pretty well against Final Form Frieza. I think they're actually quite a bit stronger than Final Form Frieza. Keep in mind, base Goku in the anime was whooping Final Form Frieza. Once he goes golden, that's a completely different story. Obviously, he's going to be stronger than both Saiyans. I do think that they would fuse, and I don't think that they would lose the ability to fuse at all. I don't think they're going to be like completely rusty with it. I think they would actually train it quite a bit. Hell, I even think they might perfect it. Just like in the Buu Saga, I think Gotenks would have Super Saiyan Blue, like how they had Super Saiyan 3, but the Goten and Trunks did not. So a hypothetical Super Saiyan Blue Gotenks versus a Golden Frieza, I feel like Goten and Trunks absolutely dog walk Golden Frieza here. After the defeat of Golden Frieza, I feel like Goten and Trunks wouldn't return to Beerus' planet. Not because they don't want to. I feel like Bulma and Chi-Chi would probably not want them going back. At least for a little bit. So for the time being, they stay on Earth. while being on Earth still, I feel like Goten and Trunks would definitely find a training partner in Piccolo. Piccolo at this point is still very weak compared to Goten and Trunks, so there is going to be a lot of catching up in terms of power for him. But I do feel like training with Goten and Trunks will be extremely beneficial for him. Hell, I think he even might absorb a little bit of God Ki. I also feel like where he's so behind, I think Piccolo might even go to Dende to wish to get his power unlocked even sooner than in canon. For the time being on Earth, everything's pretty peaceful. Nothing really happens. I think even Gohan might come in and join in training a little bit. Still, I don't think he's super back into it or anything yet. But with that massive defeat he faced against Frieza, I do think he would train a lot more. Obviously, next up is the Universe 7 versus Universe 6 tournament. I feel like the team would be almost exactly the same besides the addition of Goten and Trunks. Boo wouldn't even be considered at this point. Manaka may not even be there either. To make things interesting and just to add a little bit of variety, I'm going to have Trunks go first. I do think Trunks could handle Batamo pretty well. Once he figures out how to get him out of the ring, I think he would be able to easily get him out of the ring. Next up would be Trunks versus Frost. Frost would definitely give Trunks a very hard time, especially if he's not taking things seriously, which I think he would be a little bit goofy during this fight. So I do think he ends up getting poisoned, and I do think he gets knocked out. I think next, because of Trunks losing, I don't think they'd send out Goten, just because they would be pretty close in power. So I think they would send out Vegeta next, wanting to avenge his son, and I'm sure Jacko at this point would have already seen the poison needle. So I think Vegeta pretty much does what he does in canon and just obliterates Frost. All the fights up to Hit would be the exact same for Vegeta, so the stuff with Cabba would still happen and everything like that. He would still lose to Hit. Once Hit eliminates Vegeta, Goku gets ready to go back in, but someone stops him. The Aura Farmer himself, Piccolo, he steps up. He goes into the match. Piccolo at first is getting absolutely obliterated. Nothing he's doing even comes close to touching Hit until he shows off his power awakened form. Even in this, he's still not really close to Hit. He's closer, but he's not actually able to. He's not able to touch Hit. Right before Piccolo gets knocked out, he hears a voice.
All you had, plus a bit extra.
Yep, that's right. I'm giving Piccolo orange this early in the game. So, I don't think it's even that crazy if you really think about it. Piccolo got Power Awakened. He had it for a little bit, then got orange pretty much right after. It's safe to say Orange Piccolo absolutely bodies Hit. I don't really think Hit can do much against Piccolo. I think the power gap is just too big. So I will give this to Piccolo. I'll give him the win on that. After the tournament, everything pretty much goes as normal. Goten and Trunks and Piccolo go back to training. I actually think Gohan would want to catch up, so he would come and actually train quite a bit more than he normally would. But one day, someone that they haven't seen in a long time returns. But with that, I'll leave it off here. If you enjoyed today's video, consider giving me a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.